of May. Michael Jackson's had a win from the grave. A judge in the United States has thrown out a molestation case against his estate. It was being brought by an Australian choreographer, Wade Robson, who claimed to have been abused by the pop star for years. Dylan Howard is with us from New York now. Dylan, great to have you with us. So a little bit of good news for Michael Jackson from the grave here. How did this case come about?
Well, Wade Robson had testified in the 2005 child molestation trial that Michael Jackson didn't abuse him. But some 2 years ago, after Michael Jackson's death, he filed a civil lawsuit against the estate of Michael Jackson, claiming that he was abused at Jackson's Neverland Ranch beginning at the age of 7. Now, the Jackson estate staunchly defended Michael in life after death, and ultimately a judge yesterday in the Los Angeles Superior Court sided with the estate, handing down a judgment saying that Wade Robson should have filed his civil lawsuit against Jackson at the time. Now, Robson had argued with the court, suggesting that the reason he didn't, in fact, file at the time was because those memories about what Jackson allegedly did to him had been suppressed.
All right. I mean, the fact of the matter is there's just too much time has moved on. Is there not limitation to this?
Well, that's in fact what the judge was suggesting, that Wade Robson should have filed his claim of molestation against Michael Jackson at the time. Now, Robson said he didn't because it was only through counselling sessions with a psychiatrist some decades later that those memories about what allegedly took place at Neverland actually resurfaced.
Yeah, that seems pretty far-fetched, doesn't it, given that he said that it specifically didn't happen during the previous case. Anyway, let's move on. The Batman Theatre shooter, people will remember this some time ago now, James Holmes. It was known that a notebook existed at the time that he had a notebook. We now know what was in the notebook.
A 29-page spiral notebook, Paul, was tendered as evidence in the murder trial in Colorado yesterday. Bone-chilling detail. In fact, I wanted to quote a specific section from you. In this 20-page document, Holmes detailed whether or not he was going to carry out, quote, his obsession with mass murder through either a terrorist-style attack at an airport or indeed at a theatre. He went on to write in this journal, target random, he decided. The cruel twists of fate are unkind to this misfortune. Now, many are asking today in the United States whether or not this constitutes insanity, because, of course, Holmes has pleaded not guilty by virtue of his insanity for killing 12 people and injuring 70 in that 2012 mass murder in Aurora, Colorado. Others are just saying that these are the rantings and ramblings of a downright crazy person. Of course, it will be up to a jury to decide whether or not he was insane at the time that he committed these crimes.
And you could swing either way on that, because it certainly was premeditated, wasn't it? It's all in there. It's all itemised like a recipe book. All right, finally, Bruce Jenner, he has, we believe, had his sex reassignment surgery.
Bruce Jenner has not been cited for some 3 weeks, Paul, and I can tell you that the reason for that is because he has completed his full gender reassignment surgery, which, of course, reading between the lines, you know what that means after having a boob job operation some 2 months ago. Now, Bruce Jenner's camp is awfully silent on this. They're not saying one way or the other whether indeed he has, but my sources, Paul, tell me that not only did he undergo that final procedure, he also had his chin softened and his jawlines broken, if you like, and reshaped so that he looks more feminine. This is a story that has just continued to dominate the entertainment cycle here in America. A remarkable transformation for a man who won Olympic gold, as we know, at the Montreal Olympics, and someone who was viewed as a very masculine member of the Kardashian and Jenner empire. Now,
I know that your sources have also told you that Jenner was very happy with the results but didn't realise how gruelling the recovery would be. Who are your sources? They must be extraordinarily close to him.
They are extraordinarily close, so much so that I can tell you the finite details of, Paul, how this all went down. Bruce Jenner did not go in to the procedure at the medical clinic in Los Angeles during the daylight. He went under the cover of darkness, so not to be seen. He actually thought that he had a urinary tract infection in the immediate aftermath of that as he battled at home to try and reclaim his health after this procedure. It was so grueling that it knocked him out for about 3 weeks. But he's expected to make not only a full full recovery, but a public declaration of his new self at some point by actually coming out to the public as a woman. And that will be most certainly a very sensational story when it occurs.
Do you live next door to him or something, Dylan? How do you bloomin' know these things?
Well, I live in New York and he lives in Malibu.
Everyone lives next door to everyone. All right, Dylan Howard, thank you so much for joining us. There's a man who knows a little bit too much.